You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 139.1, our Boys Week in Review for January 1st through 4th, 2025, in Blackford, Delaware, Grant, Howard, Madison, Tipton, and Northern Hamilton counties, with our weekly honors and our top 20 power poll.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, thank you so much for being with us. Today is January 7th, 2025. It's a Tuesday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I am your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana basketball. Coming to you today from Madison Grant High School. Producer Susie is in the control room at headquarters in Jeffersonville. This is going to be a shorter week in review than usual for a couple of reasons. One, there weren't a ton of games. Two, the Madison County tournament preview got me a little bit behind. And number three, I was a little lazy and didn't do many interviews with coaches. But don't worry, we are back at full strength starting right now. We will be on time going forward as often as possible. Don't forget, we have a boys basketball scoreboard the rest of the week, including reports from several Madison County tournament games, both boys and girls. We've posted tons of segments in the last few days. Our Madison County previews, Pacers recaps with Mike Rich, our college football playoff podcast with Eric and Ryan Robinson, and Will Rutherford's 5 questions that need answers about national sports. Really good one this week with Will. Before we get to our week in review, please don't forget to like, subscribe, or follow us at your favorite podcasting site so you do not miss a single segment. We're at YouTube now. Please go there and subscribe. Just search Central Indiana Sports Report on all of these sites, and we should be easy to find. And we start, as we always do in our week in review, with the Central Indiana Conference. Of course, the conference that named itself after this podcast. Oak Hill and Blackford remain on top of the CIC standings. Both are 2-0 in conference. Oak Hill 6-3 overall, Blackford 5-4. There are 4 teams tied at 1-1. Madison Grant and Mrs. Sinowal are both 4-5 overall, 1-1 in the conference. Frankton is 2-5, 1-1. Alexandria 2-8, 1-1. Eastbrook 3-5, 1-2. Elwood is 2-6 overall, 0-3 in the conference. By the way, this is as of Sunday. Oak Hill's most recent game, they finished third at the Grant 4 tournament. They lost to Eastbrook 43-38 and beat Madison Grant 59-46 in the consolation game. The Golden Eagles host 5-4 Peru on Friday. Blackford is 5-4 overall, 2-0 in the conference. Most recently, the Bruins went 1-2 and finished fourth at the Shenandoah Holiday Tournament. They beat Tinley 56-50, lost 66-60 to Greater Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and then lost 51-43 to Greenwood Christian. Blackford is at 4-5 Madison Grant in a big CIC contest Friday. Then they're at 1-6 South Adams on Saturday. Madison Grant is 4-5 overall, 1-1 in conference. They defeated Cowan 59-46 on Friday to end a 5-game losing streak. Senior Ike Almeida had 14 points and 4 rebounds. Senior Xander Gillespie, really nice game, 11 points, 7 assists. Senior Xavier Yagi had 11 points, and junior Brock Barnhart had 11 points and 3 assists. Senior Luke Gilman added 9 points. The Argyles host 5-4 Blackford on Friday to try to stay in the CIC race. Mrs. Sinowal is 4-5 after they lost 57-35 at Newcastle on Saturday. Freshman Ravion Fetz led the Indians with 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Junior Seth Yoder added 6 points. Junior Ian Newsom had 4 points, 5 assists, and 2 steals. The Indians host 5-3 Southwood on Saturday. Frankton is 2-5 heading into this week. They took their third straight loss, 48-36 at home against Class A Monroe Central on December 28th in their last outing. And of course, the Eagles are in the Madison County tournament this week. Spoiler alert, they will be playing Liberty Christian on Thursday at Anderson at 7:30. Alexandria is 2-8 overall. In their most recent games, they finished fourth at the Edinburgh Holiday Tournament. They beat South Decatur 48-37, lost to 2A number 11 Northeastern 76-52, and lost to Borden 51-30, 51-43. The Tigers are also at the Madison County Tournament this week. They will face LaPel on Thursday at home in the consolation bracket. Eastbrook is 3-5. The Panthers finished runner-up at the Grant 4. They beat favorite and host Oak Hill 43-38 for their best win of the year, and then led most of the way in a 41-37 loss to Mississinawa in the championship game. The Panthers are off until January 11th when they're at home against 0-8 Cowan. Elwood is 2-6. They have not played since December 20th, a 56-21 loss to Blackford. The Panthers are also in the Madison County Tournament. They will face Anderson Prep on Thursday at Alexandria. Anderson Prep beat Elwood 48-24 earlier this season. To our only independent team, LaPel is 4-3. The Bulldogs haven't played since December 21st when they beat Mississinawa 49-45. The Bulldogs are also in the Madison County Tournament. They will play Alexandria at Alexandria on Thursday. To the Hoosier Conference in the East Division, Western has already wrapped up the division championship and will play for the Hoosier Conference Championship later this season. The Panthers were 7-4 entering this week. Tipton is 6-2 overall, 1-1 in the conference. They are ranked 12th in Class 2A. Hamilton Heights is 6-5 overall, 1-1 in the conference, and Logan Sports 4-7 and 0-2. Over in the Hoosier Conference West Division, West Lafayette and Central Catholic and Twin Lakes are all 1-0 in conference. West Lafayette's 8-2 overall, Central Catholic 6-3, and Twin Lakes 7-5. Benton Central's 4-6 overall, 0-1 in the conference, and Rensselaer Central is 3-7, 0-2. Western is 7-4 after a 47-42 win at West Lafayette on Saturday. Big win for the Panthers. Freshman Eli Mast had 11 points. Senior Sam Thurston finished with 9 points, and he was 3 for 7 from behind the three-point arc. Junior Bryson Rucker had 8 points. He was 3 for 4 overall and 2 for 2 from deep. Senior Hudson Biggs had 6 points, and junior Carter Biggs had 4 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. The Panthers host 6-3 Central Catholic on Tuesday. Then they're at 4-7 Logansport in a conference game on Saturday. Western will clinch the division outright with a win in that one. Class 2A number 12 Tipton is 6-2. They won the Clinton Central Holiday Tournament. They beat Kokomo Homeschool 79-50 Thursday behind Grady Carpenter's 28-point triple-double. He was 11 for 18 from the field, 14 assists, and 11 rebounds. We will probably hear from Mr. Carpenter in this week's honors. Senior Sam Quigley had 17 points. He was 7 for 14 from the field and 3 for 8 behind the three-point line. Tipton had a season-best 11 three-pointers made in the win. Quigley also had 5 assists and 4 rebounds. Junior Jace Clark had 12 points. He was 4 for 6 from the field. Sophomore Peyton Oller had 12 points and made a couple of threes. Senior Landon Spidell, 6 points and 5 rebounds. Then on Friday, Tipton beat Class A number 6 Carroll 49-46 to win the Clinton Central Holiday Tournament. Carpenter had another huge game, 32 points, going 10 for 16 from the field, 6 for 10 from behind the three-point line, as Tipton had another season high for three-pointers made in a game. Carpenter also had 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. Quigley, 10 points and 4 rebounds. Tipton has a tough one on Friday. They go to 6-1 Mechanical. Then they're at 3-6 Bethesda Christian on Saturday. Hamilton Heights is 6-5 overall. Most recently, the Huskies finished 5th at the Switzerland County Holiday Classic. They lost their opener 67-51 to then unbeaten Paoli. Then came back and beat East Central 47-38 and Trinity Lutheran 79-56. The Huskies are at 5-3 Northwestern on Friday and 1-9 Frankfort on Saturday. In the Hoosier Heartland, Sheridan, Taylor, and Carroll all remain unbeaten. Sheridan is on top of the standings. They are 3-0 in league play, 8-2 overall. Taylor is 9-0 overall, 2-0 in the conference, and ranked 10th in Class 2A. Carroll is 7-1 overall, 1-0 in the conference, and ranked 6th in Class A. There are 3 teams tied at 1-1. Class A number 14 Clinton Prairie is 6-1 overall. Tri-Central 6-3 overall, and Rossville is 7-4. Eastern's 3-5, 1-2 in the conference. Clinton Central 1-8, 0-2. Delphi 5-4, 0-3. Sheridan had its 7-game winning streak snapped on Saturday against Class 2A number 3 Park Heritage in a very competitive game, 66-58. Senior Caleb Wright had 17 points for the Blackhawks. He hit 3 3-pointers and had 4 assists. Sophomore Trey Page had 14 points. He made 4 3-pointers. And senior Damon Winston finished with 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. He was 5 for 8 from the field. This week, Sheridan hosts 6-3 Tri-Central in an HHC game Friday, and they are at 7-4 Rossville in an HHC game on Saturday. This could be a big week if the Blackhawks are going to win the conference championship. Class 2A number 10 Taylor is 9-0 overall. They went 3-0 and won the Delphi Indiana Kitchen Classic, beating Pioneer 42-27, Delphi 39-33, and conference rival Rossville 49-46 in the championship game. Taylor is at 6-1 Mechaniquah, or they host 6-1 Mechaniquah on Wednesday in a big one, and they are at Rossville in a HHC contest and a rematch of that championship game on Friday. Tri-Central improved to 6-3. They won 55-53 in overtime at Daleville on Saturday. Senior Drake Ramsier had 24 points and 4 of the team's 8 points in overtime. Junior J. Jankowiak finished with 12 and senior Izzy Fowler with 10. Those 3 were responsible for all of the Trojans' points in overtime. Tri-Central's at 8-2 Sheridan on Friday with a chance to get back in the Hoosier Heritage Conference race. Then they host 4-5 Westell on Saturday. Eastern is 3-5 after a 44-41 loss against Northwestern on Saturday. Senior Kyan Hanna and junior Colton Lindsay had 12 points apiece for the Comets. Eastern is off until Friday, January 17th, when they are at home against Daleville. To the Hoosier Heritage Conference, Class 4A number 16 Mount Vernon and Class 4A number 4 Greenfield Central are on top. Both are unbeaten. Mount Vernon's actually 3-0 in the conference, so a half game ahead of Greenfield. The Marauders are 8-1 overall. Greenfield Central is 8-2 and 2-0. 4 teams are still officially in the race with 1 loss in the conference. Shelbyville's 9-3 overall, 2-1 in the conference. Delta's 9-1, 1-1. 3A number 7 New Pal is 9-2, 1-1 in conference. Pendleton Heights is 3-5, 0-1. Newcastle 2-7, 0-2. Yorktown 3-7, 0-3. Delta is 9-1, and they are on a 7-game winning streak after winning the Delta Holiday Tournament, beating Fort Wayne South, Cecina, and Providence. This week, the Eagles host 9-2 New Pal in a big one on Friday. In fact, their next 2 games are against 3A number 7 New Pal and 2A number 1 Wapahani in the opening round of the Delaware County Tournament. Pendleton Heights is 3-5, haven't played since December 28th when they beat Chittard 63-50. They are in the Madison County Tournament and will face Anderson at Anderson on Thursday. Yorktown lost 81-53 to Anderson on Thursday, the Tigers' 7th straight loss. Junior Jabin Barnes had 12 points and 5 rebounds. Senior Efren Doherty and junior Connor Roray had 11 points apiece. Senior Evan Maynor had 7 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. The North Central Conference has barely just begun, but Marion has won both of the games played in the conference so far. They are 2-0 in the league, 6-3 overall. Neither Anderson, Lafayette, Jeff, or Muncie Central has played a conference game. Anderson's 8-1, Jeff 8-2, Muncie Central is 3-7. Kokomo's 8-2 overall, but lost to Marion, so they are 0-1 in the conference. And Richmond is 5-7 overall and lost to Marion, so they are 0-1 in the conference. Kokomo is ranked 19th in Class 4A. Marion did have a rough weekend, losing 99-63 at 4A number 2 Lawrence North on Friday. Senior Amar Rogers had 21 points and 4 assists. Junior Tim Jones had 20 points. He was 4 for 9 from behind the three-point arc with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Junior Logan Barnes had 9 points. Senior Kobe Johnson had 8 points. He was 2 for 4 from behind the three-point line with 5 rebounds. Then they lost 74-49 at home to 4A number 4 Westfield. Rogers had 18 points. Jadion Smith had 13, and freshman Manu Jackson finished with 6. This week, the Giants are at 6-3, Class 4A number 17 Carmel on Friday, and host 8-2 Fort Wayne Southside on Saturday. Another tough weekend for the Giants. Anderson won 81-53 at Yorktown on Thursday for their 4th straight win. Senior Damian King had 22 points and scored 8 of the Indians' first 12. He was 10 for 18 from the field with 11 rebounds and 4 assists. Senior Javon Winfield had 17 points and 11 rebounds, 6 steals and 4 assists. Senior Titus Hunter had 12 points on 6 of 9 field goals with 7 rebounds. Junior Colin Lewis had 10 points and 6 rebounds. He was 5 for 7 from the field. And freshman Don Bowling was perfect from the field, 4 for 4, 2 of those from behind the three-point line for 10 points. The Indians face Pendleton on Thursday in the Madison County semifinal round. Muncie Central lost 36-28 at Jay County on Saturday. The Bearcats shot 33% as a team. Junior Shamar Taylor had 9 points. Freshman Jackson Johnson had 7. Junior Landon Wells had 4 points, 5 assists, 3 steals, and junior Terry Miles had a game-high 5 rebounds. This week, the Bearcats host 8-2 Lafayette Jeff Friday in their NCC opener, and they're at 6-4 Noblesville on Saturday. The Millers are ranked 13th in Class 4A. 4A number 19 Kokomo won the Phil Clay Memorial Tournament on December 27th and 28th. By beating New Haven 90-70, Merrillville 80-63, and Warren Central 76-71. They are now 8-2. This week, Kokomo is at 4-7 Logansport on Friday and host 4-5 Snyder on Saturday. There are 4 unbeaten teams in the Mideastern Conference, including number 1 Wapahani. Shenandoah is 3-0, and Eastern Hancock is 3-0 in the conference. Wapahani and Monroe Central are both 2-0. A lot of good games ahead in that conference. Shenandoah is 2-0 overall. Eastern Hancock 5-3. Wapahani's 10-0, and Monroe Central is 8-1. Randolph Southern is the only other team without multiple losses in the conference. The Rebels are 3-4 overall, 1-1 in conference. West Dells 4-5, 2-3. Blue River Valley 1-8, 1-3. Daleville 1-6, 1-4. Union 2-4, 0-2. And Cowan is 0-8 overall, 0-2 in conference. Wapahani is 10-0 overall. They won 85-41 at Blue River Valley on Friday. Senior Nate Luce had a career-high 29 points. He was 10 for 16 from the field, 9 for 15 from behind the three-point line. What a night. It's his second straight game with a season-high scoring. He also had 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Junior Camden Bell finished with 18 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. Senior Brock Zickgraf had 16 points. He was 7 for 8 from the field and 2 for 3 from behind the three-point arc with 11 rebounds and 5 steals. Junior Leighton Spence had 10 points on 4 of 6 shooting, 2 for 3 from deep. And senior Gabriel Becerra had 4 points and 6 rebounds. This week, the Raiders host 5-3 Eastern Hancock in a big conference game. Westell lost 53-51 at Union County. Senior Josiah Love had 26.7 rebounds and 4 assists. Senior Grayson Mealy had 8 points, and he was a perfect 3 for 3 from the field and 2 for 2 from the three-point line. In a 60-46 loss at Tri, Love had 27 points, going 10 for 20 from the field and 3 for 6 from behind the three-point arc. He also had 5 rebounds. Junior Julian Carpenter had 10 points and 5 boards. This week, the Warriors are at 6-3 Tri-Central on Saturday. Daleville is 1-6 overall, 1-4 in conference. They lost 55-53 in overtime at home to Tri Central last week. This week, they're at home Friday against 0-8 Cowan. Cowan is 0-8. They lost 59-45 at Madison Grant Friday. Junior Luke Garrett had 15 points, 3 assists. Sophomore Noah Sowers finished with 13 points, going 3 for 5 from behind the three-point line. And junior Lucas Terrell had 10 points and 4 rebounds. This week, the Blackhawks are at 1-6 Daleville on Friday and at 3-5 Eastbrook on Saturday. In the Pioneer Conference, the North Division, Liberty Christian has already clinched the division. They're 5-4 overall, 3-0 in conference. Of course, the Lions are ranked 9th in Class A. Anderson Prep is 5-2 overall, 1-1 in conference. University is 4-6, 1-1. Burris 0-7, 0-1, and Seton Catholic is 5-8 overall, 0-2 in the conference. In the Pioneer South, there's only been 2 games played. Greenwood Christian is unbeaten at 1-0. They are 4-6 overall. Park Tudor is 1-1, 2-5 overall. International and Bethesda Christian haven't played a conference game yet. International's 2-2. Bethesda is 3-6. Shortridge is 4-8 overall, 0-1 in the conference. The Lions haven't played a game since a 64-43 loss at Brownsburg on December 28th. The Lions are in the Madison County Tournament semifinals on Thursday against Frankton at Anderson. Anderson Prep hasn't played since a 59-57 loss at Liberty Christian on December 20th. The Jets will face Elwood in Thursday's consolation bracket of the Madison County Tournament. Burris is 0-7, hasn't played since December 19th, doesn't play again till January 14th when they host 3-7 Muncie Central. There are 3 unbeaten teams in the Three Rivers Conference, Peru, Manchester, and Mechanicawa. Peru's on top at 3-0 overall, 5-4, or 3-0 in the conference, 5-4 overall. Manchester's 10-1, 2-0 in the conference. Mechanicawa 6-1, and 2-1 in the conference. Still in the race, Northwestern is 5-3 overall, 2-1 in the Three Rivers. Northfield 5-4, 1-1. Whitco 2-7, 1-1. Southwood 5-3, 1-2. Rochester 5-2, 0-1. Lewis Cass 2-7, 0-3. And Wabash is 0-11, 0-3 in conference. Northwestern is 5-3 after a 44-41 win at Eastern. Sophomore Braden Wilson finished with 15 points. Senior Hayden Cook had 11, and senior Brock Schenk added 10 in the win. This week, the Tigers host 5-4 Peru on Tuesday. Before we get to our weekly honors, this is your reminder to please let your friends know about the Central Indiana Sports Report. We're growing fast. We hope to grow faster, and we'd appreciate your help. To the Central Indiana Sports Report weekly honors, our performance of the week. Taylor Jr. Javon Harris had 15 points and 19 rebounds in the Titans' 49-46 win over Rossville and the championship game of the Carroll Holiday Tournament. He also had 11 points and 17 rebounds in a win over Delphi in the semifinal round, if not for perhaps the best week played by any player so far this season, and that is coming up. The Central Indiana Sports win of the week came from the Northwestern Tigers, who knocked off rival Eastern 44-41 for their third win in their last 4 games. Northwestern is now 5-3. The Central Indiana Sports Report coach of the week is Anderson head coach Donnie Bowling, who has the Indians 8-1 with 4 straight wins, including an 81-53 victory over Yorktown. And the Central Indiana Sports Report player of the week, what a week for Tipton senior Grady Carpenter. He had 60 points in 2 games. He was 21 for 36 from the field, shooting 60% from behind the three-point arc, and also had 15 rebounds, 17 assists, and 3 steals. He had a triple-double of 28 points, 14 assists, and 11 rebounds in the Blue Devils' 79-50 win over Kokomo Homeschool. The Central Indiana Sports Report team of the week is the Taylor Titans. The Titans are 10-0 after winning 3 games to claim the Delphi Holiday Tournament Championship with wins over Pioneer, the host Oracles, and Rossville. Taylor is 9-0 for the second time in 3 years. And now to our top 20 power poll. This is going to go fast because there are hardly any changes. Just outside of the top 20 is 6-3 Tri-Central. Northwestern is number 20 at 5-3. Muncie Central moved down 2 spots to number 19. Anderson Prep moved up a spot to 18. And so did Blackford move up 1 spot from 18 to 17. Frankton stays 16. Hamilton Heights is at 15. Liberty Christian 14. Mississinawa 13. Sheridan 12. Oak Hill 11. Tipton 10. Western is number 9. Taylor was the biggest mover up the chart this week, going from number 10 to number 8. Like I said, it was a slow week. LaPel stays at number 7. Marion at number 6. They are down 3 spots after 2 blowout losses over the weekend. But honestly, the top 6 seem to be all about pretty even. Number 5 is Pendleton Heights. Number 4, Kokomo. Number 3, Delta. They all 3 moved up a spot. Anderson is number 2, or you could call them 1B. You could definitely make an argument for the Indians being number 1 in this poll. And number 1 for the second week in a row is the Wapahani Raiders. They are ranked number 1 in Class 2A. They are 10-0. Thank you so much for listening. We always appreciate it. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I definitely love Susie.